And good afternoon, folks. Good evening. Warp103 bringing you guys another one. This time here, we're going to be comparing armor values for some tanks in the game and why basically over armored tanks are stupid. And thank you for viewing this video. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel by clicking the icon above, and then of course hitting the bell icon to get notifications when the next video drops. So here we go. Okay. Now, I had a discussion the other day and everything else, and some people are not getting it. So let me try to be clear. I'm going to bring up a PowerPoint presentation and show you how armor can make things so ridiculous that it's not even funny. Okay, so let's look at the beginning. Let's break down. We're going to compare 4 German tanks, 4 heavies from Warlord tanks. Okay, should be super simple that anybody should be able to understand. Now, these are the armor values of the tank. As you can see, the turret armor for all 3 tanks frontally looks to be the same. Side armor is different, and then again you have your back armor of the turret looks different, and then you have your hull armor, right? So as it shows right here, frontal armor 260 plus, hard to pin for the 100P. The VK is similar, but since it's bigger and boxier, well, you're going to see more about that in a minute. The VK75, the turret is strong, weak and flat in other areas, and the low, strong turret, weak hull, easily pinned by tier 8s. Now again, the low has been in the game the longest out of every tank here. Then next came up this, and the reason why these came into play is because people bitched and moaned about this tank here being too strong. More on that in a minute. Okay, the VK100.01 P, one of the most over-armored tier 8s in the game. You can look it up. You can use any of the AI program to look up what is the most heavily armored tank in the game. It's not going to lie. This is not anecdotal. This is something you literally can look up and see for yourself. So again, not my opinion. This is AI logic. Everything else being equal. Here it is. Thick slope armor frontally makes it insane. Hard to pin without gold or high pin guns. Weak spots are few, but include the cupola and lower plate. Now, all of these pictures are facing a Skoda 56, the tier 8 that's inside the game, non-gold, the standard rounds. Now, the reason why I chose standard rounds and everything else is because, again, if you look at lower tier tanks that has basically 108 to 120, you can get a rough idea if they should be able to pin this tank or not. And as you can plainly see, the answer is not. That's the reason why this basically called the Minnie Mouse. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So, people bitch and moan about the 100P. Again, this is a well-known fact. Even though people don't want to believe this, they want to think it's anecdotal, you can look it up. Essentially, it's the VK100P's armor, similarly. So if you look at both tanks, and you sat them side by side, and you look at the armor, how it laid out, how it looks, turning aside the thickness and everything else of it, basically they should be the exact same tank in armor. But it's not. As you can see here and everything else, that cupola, yeah, tier 6s can pin this cupola. It's bigger than the other one is, so it has a larger silhouette, means the same armor basically, but since it's larger, easy to hit the weak spots. Plus, it has the gunner's port weak spot that anybody can hit. Tier 6. So extremely tank hull down or angled, but that's the best you can do. Slower, clumsier. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next. The 7501K. Again, the turret is strong. Slope, the armor is weaker, more vulnerable to frontal shots. It can hold its ground in level fights, but not ideal to brawling like, again, the VK101. Why? Look at the armor. Hello, weak spots. On top of the thing, turret. 2 of them. Again, that's what I'm saying. Some tanks have 2 weak spots. Some have virtually none on the turret. This is ridiculous. One of these needs to go, and another one needs to be strengthened a bit. Not a lot, but a bit. So the armor can work if angled right, but it's not over armored. Then we get to the original OG, the low. Turret armor is great, except if you know to shoot it underneath the neck, right underneath the gun. Shoot it right here. But most guys that have the low know to turn its neck so it don't get basically shot in the neck. So since this part over here is rounded, when they turn it, it makes the armor really, really, really good. But as you can see, the hull is pinnable. So even by tier 6s, if they're shooting goal, we'll be able to pin the upper plate of the tank. So 120, no slope, lower plate, good for hull down plate only. It's slow and can be flanked. Verdict. The 100P is the most over-armored tank. Has the best combinations of raw thickness, angling, and minimal weak spots. Again, you notice you're not pinning this, and even at the lower plate, you got problems if he angles. And again, it's infamous in-game face tanking lower tier vehicles and absorbing ridiculous amount of armor. Now, someone was saying to me, oh, well, again, and I'm not trying to harp on him, but he was saying, well, there's no tank that can be inside the game that can basically just sit there and not this tank. This tank can. Lower tiers. It literally can just sit there, aim his gun at you. You can low goal and pray that you high roll to get a pin off. Because if you don't, guess what happens? He just sits. He doesn't have to move. He can just sit there and just keep shooting you lower tiers. Even tier 7s that don't have high enough pin, he literally can just sit there and just keep pinning them. Because even though they higher tier, they have more thing. It turns from orange to yellow, so it turns into basically 50-50. So if they low roll most of the time, again, he can just sit there, shoot them, kill them, and so that, and not even have to think about it. This is what I'm talking about, that there's a lot of tanks in the game that are over armored. It doesn't matter the map, because again, this tank can do it regardless if it's on an open map. Because why? How the tank is. On an open map, what are you going to do even if you low tier? Unless you're flanking all the way around and pray it don't see you coming. So Warp103 saying warp out, have fun. We're going to catch you guys on the next one.